It was about 7 years ago when we came to St. Augustine to plant Awaken City Church. Awaken City Church is here because of people like you. You see, when God called us here to plant this church, He didn't let us know there would be people that would actually show up. We just stepped out in faith. But what's been amazing is that as we have come together and as we're part of this incredible community here at Awaken City Church, we've seen God move in amazing ways. This year, as we start to look at our Heart for the House season, which is going to start in December, we've got some really big goals. In fact, we still see God moving and pushing us in the same direction. We're content with where we're at, but we know that God has called us to so much more. The first area is going to be future expansion. I don't know if you know this, but Theater 8, where we currently meet on Sunday mornings, is the largest theater here at Epic Movie Theater. And as we have been growing, we are bumping up really close to what that top end capacity is going to be in that one room. But part of that Heart for the House funding that we're going to be setting aside is going to help us potentially expand one day. The next area is future growth. And as we think about growth, there's a lot of different ways that this bucket could have some shape, but I want to kind of paint a picture for you just in our children's ministry. Again, if you think about 30% additional space just this past year, well, what happens when if we do go to a second service? There'll be that many more kids. And so as we start thinking about future growth, not only in the physical place, but also in the growth in the sense that we want to be able to grow our teams and people to be able to minister to our children. We're also going to continue to grow with life groups. So future growth is going to allow us to really add some fuel to the fire to allow God to continue to do what He's already doing, but help Him advance that further. When you think about future leaders, this one really excites me because there's a lot of different buckets that this one is associated with. For many of you, I know I've shared this before, but I spent many years as a student pastor, and one of the things that's always been near and dear to my heart is to make summer camp, affordable for our students. You and I won't always be the leaders of the church. We need to prepare that next generation, and this step and this fund and this Heart for the House allows us to do that. We also will continue supporting Compassion International. For many of you, you know that we planted a church in Chiapas, Mexico through Compassion International, but as part of that, we planted a child development center where children are being fed, not only physically receiving food, but spiritually hearing about the Lord. And we also last year funded a program called the Survivor Program, where we are putting boots on the ground to teach young mothers and young families how to care for their kids, and then to have their kids jump into that program at the Child Development Center. All of this is exciting to me, and I hope it is exciting to you. And so I want to just invite you to be a part of this. And there's a lot of different ways that you can be a part of the Heart for the House season. In fact, if you just go to our website, awakencity.church/heart, you'll find out information there on how you can participate. But there's a number of ways you can participate. And the very first way I would ask you to participate is to pray. The second thing we'd ask you to do is to jump on the train. And what train is that? I'm talking about the experience team train. We're continuing to grow our experience team. And I would encourage you, if you're not already serving somewhere, I'd encourage you to stop by one of our tables or let us know online. We would love to kind of start that process for you. And then finally, I want to share with you just really one of the crazy goals we have. And as we start thinking about next steps as a church, you see, we've been already looking at different facilities and land and things like that, and we know that we need to continue to save money for a portion of the Heart for the House, which would go to a future expansion, some sort of building or some sort of location. And so our goal for this year, last year was $80,000, this year it's $100,000. And so as we continue to add to really our savings that will allow us to take some next steps, I want to encourage you to pray for how you can really step into this Heart for the House season in all the areas I mentioned there. Because I believe that this year can be different. I believe that God can really show us the direction that He wants us to go as a church. It's not really me to go, but it's really us, you and I, as a church family. And so I encourage you to jump in, and together we can celebrate all God wants to do.